So for today, we're going to be looking at the Spire of the Watcher armor set for the Hunters. If you guys don't know, we've already reviewed the armor and the shader video. They're both right here. You guys can check it out. Now, this week is the Spire of the Watcher for the new event, the 9, whatever it's called. Either way, that's why we're doing these armor sets, so that way you guys can get reacquainted with the armor, or if you've never done the dungeon and you always want the armor, this is a good showcase, because not only do I show you how it looks and how it shaders, but I also show you how it shaders with 50 shaders for those videos. And for the class specific videos, we're going to be showcasing what you can actually do with, or at least some of the sets that I've done with some of these pieces. So if you guys like the video, like, comment, subscribe really does help, because a huge portion of people are actually not subscribed. So if you can do me a favor, like, comment, sub, hit the bell notification, because that also does help. Other than that, let's get into it. So to start off, we're going to be looking at the arm, the TM Erp custom grips with the TM Erp custom hood as well. For the actual exotic, it's going to be the speed loader slacks. For every other piece, it's going to be the sublime vest for the chest piece, and then the Vanguard Dare cloak. For the shadering, it's going to be Bloody Tooth for everything but the cloak. The cloak is going to be getting Abyssinian gold. And I actually really like this one, specifically because I really like how I utilize Bloody Tooth with this one. So for those of you who don't know, speed loader slacks takes the off color for the armor piece and on the legs. And that's kind of unfortunate if you don't know what to do with it, because again, most of the time the chest piece is going to have the main color while the boots are going to have the off color. Thankfully, this, or I don't know how you view it, but for me, thankfully, Sublime Vest takes the off color for the main plate in the front, which is why I utilize that one, so that way I can have at least 2 pieces of armor sets or armor pieces that have that off coloring. Because then when you go to the TMR custom grips, then you see that it's going to be taking the main color, which is black, for the pauldron. So I actually really like this one. I think it's really cool. The main reason why we're using red and black, specifically because I'm not the biggest fan of red and black, just because it's kind of like overdone it by now, is because the Vanguard Dare cloak unfortunately has a red streak at the back that doesn't change color. Granted, I could have done literally almost every other color, but red and black is such an easy combo that I was like, fuck it, I'll just do that, even though I don't usually like to do that. And overall, yeah, I gotta say this one's really cool. It doesn't really give that, I guess it does give off that cowboy vibe, but like without the hat. This is much more of a like wandering like outlaw type of thing, which I think looks really cool, especially if you have like a hand cannon on the hip. Then it's gonna be really cool. But let me know what you guys think about this one. As for the next piece, it's going to be the Mechaniers Trick Sleeves for the exotic, and for the actual TM custom piece, it's going to be the chaps or boots. For everything else, Refugee Mask, the Intrepid Discovery Vest with the Intrepid Discovery Cloak. Now, I really like this set like a lot, just because it's different. So the only thing I can see people like complaining about is the fact that the TMR custom chaps looks a lot thicker than everything at the top. Everything at the top seems very slim and sleek, and then when you see the boots, very thick and chunky. So that's like my only gripe I have about this set. If the boots were a little bit skinnier, or if I was just using different chest pieces, or specifically if I was just using a different chest piece, I think this would have been fine. The Lux chest piece comes to mind. That one would be a really good fit. The other thing is I probably would switch out the arms for something else, just because they are a little thin. That being said, I'm not that broken up about it, because I still think it looks really cool. Shader is going to be Iron Bone, one of my favorite shaders when you're going for a very leathery look. And yeah, I don't think this one's bad. I would just switch some things around here and there, or honestly probably just switch out the TMR customs for something else, or again, like I said, just switch out the exotic completely, but use the Lux chest piece, because that's going to be really good. It's going to bulk out that chest piece a lot. And I would probably still keep the Intrepid Discovery Cloak, because it is really cool, and the helmet as well. So honestly, yeah, I would probably just switch out all of that and then just find another exotic that goes well with it. That being said, good luck, because there is really not a lot that is gonna go well with that. I mean, if you want to go for like a cyborg type of feel, you can go with the Aeon Swifts. That's gonna be really cool. I would probably just switch out the helmet that has a glow, so that way there's a little bit more glow in there. But overall, not bad. As for the next set, we're going to be using Lucky Pants with the Deep Pockets ornament, and I think this one is amazing. It's beautiful. So TM Erp custom grips again with the TM Erp custom cloak Stetson. The actual other pieces are going to be the Parade Vest with the Illicit Collector Mask. Shader is going to be in Silvered Snare, which is kind of cheating, because this is probably the best shader in the game, at least for me personally. And yeah, this screams cowboy. Like the chest piece gives off that like that sheriff vibe, and overall this is probably the best one here, if I'm being quite honest. I do understand some people might be like, in Silvered Snare is cheating. That's completely valid, but this set is so good that you probably could slap on any shader on it and it's gonna look really, really cool, which just showcases just how good some of these pieces really are. I also really love the fact that the Deep Pockets ornament, or just the Lucky Pants in general, has the holster on the left side, and it goes well with TM Herb custom grips, because then you have that metal piece on the right side, which equals it out, which is what I always say. If you're gonna do asymmetry, at least have both sides even out, as in don't make one side too heavy, because then it feels weird, which is why I think the Lucky Pants with the custom grips looks amazing. And yeah, really nothing negative to say about this one. I'm trying to think of like, what would I switch out? And honestly, the thing I would switch out probably the fastest would be the illicit collector mask. That would be the one where I'm like, yeah, I could switch this one out for something else. But like, I just love this set so much that one helmet comes to mind, the helmet from not Europa, what's it called? Neptune? The one Neo Muna, the helmet from Neo Muna, that one. I would probably switch to that one, because that one's really, really cool. The only thing is shader's really weird sometimes, so you just have to be careful of that. But overall, I think like legit, this one might be my favorite. And then last but not least, we're gonna be using Foe Tracer with the War Painted ornament, and then the TM Herb custom vest for the actual piece. For the other ones, it's gonna be Streetwise grips and strides, and then the Covert Ranger cloak. So I think this one is cool. I think this one is really, really cool. The only negative thing I have to say about this one is that, like, as much as I love this set, which don't get me wrong, I think this one's really cool, I don't think Foe Tracer is the best choice here. That being said, if you think of it as like, I was gonna say, if you think of it as like a snowy biome type of thing, that it would have been good, but I'm not even using shaders for that. Specifically in Silvered Snare, we're using that again, but this one's actually for a good reason. Because in Silvered Snare does a really good job at combining all of the cloth into one color. Usually you will have differences, like the chest piece and arms being completely different to the boots, but that's because each of these pieces take shaders completely differently, which is why I ended up using in Silvered Snare, because it combines everything pretty neatly in my opinion. And yeah, the thing is, like, I would love to use this chest piece with a more militaristic feel, and when I say that, I specifically mean like more of a like an old Earth type of thing, like now, like using like a battle fatigue armor instead of like actual like plate armor. That's what I mean. Like if we could have some of that armor where it's like tactical but cloth still, that would be really good. Honestly, there's a few pieces you could do. You could do the 30th anniversary one, I forget what it's called, but the marathon inspired one. You could do that one, because that one's tactical. It does have plate armor, but not like a lot. And that's kind of like where my head goes. It's like, I want to do like a tactical looking set that's very like frontline military type of thing, and not like space or like fucking Halo where it's like just pure plate armor and no cloth. That's kind of like where my head goes. Because the chest piece literally gives me like Civil War era like vibes, where it's like we're fighting for freedom or whatever the fuck, right? So that's kind of like where my head went. And Covert Ranger was such a good choice for this one, just because I didn't want anything crazy or a hood, honestly. And thankfully we finally have like a really, really good hoodless cloak that does a good job, because this is amazing. So yeah, that is pretty much it. This was just going to be a short video showcasing some of those. I say short, it's already almost 10 minutes, but I did have a lot to say about these, because I had a lot of fun making these, like legitimately. I don't think there is a bad set in this one. Granted, I do think the second set could use a little work, but I don't think it's bad outright. Because I think the third and fourth set are absolutely amazing. Even the first one I think has like such strong points. So Hunters, let me know what you guys think. Titans, Warlocks, you guys are going to be going up next. Hopefully I'll have these videos up by the end of this week, so that way you guys can see all of the armor and decide if you want to actually go farm it, because I do think it's really cool. And remember, it's free. The dungeon is free right now. Not only that one, I think Prophecy was already free, so that one doesn't matter, but Spire of the Watcher and Ghost of the Deep, both of those are going to be free. One of them's already free right now. Ghost of the Deep should be next week, or the week after that. And best believe we're going to be doing the same thing we did here, where we're going to be reviewing the armor, showing you the shadering, and then doing specific videos for it. That being said, Prophecy, is going to be rough because I think that armor is pretty doo-doo butter, but I'll try my best to do some sets for those. I will at least try to do a minimum of 3 sets for each of those for prophecy, just because I want a minimum at least have 3. But if I can do all 5, that'd be great. So let me know what you guys think. I appreciate y'all coming to this point. Remember, a lot of content is going to be thrown at you guys this week. A lot of content. And not only this week, but next week, the week after that. Because again, I still have the two Star Wars sets for each of the classes that one of them was from Eververse and the other one is for pre-ordering the new expansion. Plus the Stasis set, which I think is absolutely fucking trash. We're going to talk about that when we get to the review video. And we might do some exotic videos as well, so it's gonna be packed. We're gonna be packed. And I also want to do I've been wanting to do this for a while, but I want to do a showcase of like my Guardian in Heresy, where I showcase like all the builds that I had at that season, and then show you the shader or the fashion for that as well. So let me know what you guys think. I appreciate y'all. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate y'all. Be safe. I'll see you guys later.